Okay, welcome to the Let's Enjoy Piano Self-Expression method. If you have the book, we're going to focus on page 20 and do some chord flow continuity through the cycle. If you get a predictable pattern to warm up with, your hands will follow the cycle as time goes on. I wrote out every key on page 20, and we're going to follow that. Triads on the left, 7 chords on the right. If you're just a beginner, you can start out, review your triads on the left, and then we can go right into the right with the 7 chords, which has 4 notes. The triads have 3. The Let's Enjoy Piano method is based on improvisational, self-expressive skills that are developed away from the printed page. So you're reading the keyboard, and this page gets you really familiar with that. The chord flow connection technique for continuity is spelled out on page 23B. It has an entire layout of selecting the chords, moving the chords, establishing a musical foundation, and then determining the melody centering position. So that's in detail, which we'll go through. But when you approach any song, before you approach any song, just looking at the chords, you do a chord flow with continuity. In other words, don't leave one chord until you know where you're going. So page 20 is the 6-2-5-1, the C chord going to the A minor chord, to the D minor chord, to the G chord. That's the 1 chord, the 6 chord, which is 3 down or 6 up. But it's best to go to the closest key. And then up to the 2 chord, D minor, and down to the 5. But the key is the continuity to keep this going. And your left hand, your pinky, is establishing that movement in the key of F. That's the key to this, plus the continuity into the, let's say we're in F. So you don't know where you're going, but you're going to go to D minor. There's D minor. Now we're going to go to G minor. And to C. Then you can start flipping the inversions. You can go from C, let's say C. First inversion, A minor. First inversion, target the root. G minor, G. I went into second inversion there too, targeting the thumb with your root with your thumb, targeting the root with your thumb, targeting the first inversion with your pinky on the root, and the second inversion, your third finger. That fast, just stay on the chord, get ready for the first inversion. Left hand, just keep it rolling in the background in the root position. That's a chord flow using only chord tones, a chordal melody of continuity. We can add in our fourth finger and get a melody, which is a combination of chord notes and a non-chord note, or the 2. that's how a melody is created. And take your time, go slow or fast as you want to, but keep the continuity. That's the key. Don't move to the next chord unless you know where you're going. Even when you take a song and you see, let's say the first three chords of Over the Rainbow are C, A minor here, and E minor. So I'm applying the same thing. I'm going a C chord, when you pick out the notes, you get the melody. But before you get there, you have to get the chord first before you pick out the melody notes. And the melody notes are going to come out of one of the inversions or the root position. Most songs, half the song is in root position and the other half is in inversions. So by doing a chord flow on the key of C, 6-2-5-1, you'll get all the positions you need to apply it to the song. So if I just play a straight chord, I'm putting in my fourth finger. That's what we just did on creating a melody out of a skip and a step. And the melody is going to be one of these notes. So here you have, so it starts with the root of the C chord. It goes to the A minor chord, half of the A minor chord. But if you have facility in just keeping continuity, you'll get flowing through a nice solid foundation to go from C to A minor to E minor. So if you sing it to yourself, or you're singing with people, or auditioning somebody to sing with you, if you're a beginning pianist, you can still use triads, and they can sing. Whatever it might be, but you just can keep a flow going. So that then if you do that for like 10 minutes without stopping the flow, everything will start coming out of the muck. The lotus will grow. You have it's very shapeless at the beginning, just rolling, feeling the song out, looking at the chords, just feeling the chords, moving from chord to chord, establishing a nice musical foundation, and then you can pick out the melody notes. But chord flow is the key to any song or any introduction. If you want to start an introduction on the key of C, I could do that. I can use the direction of going up. If you have the book, page 80B, it makes decisions on fills and introductions, and they show hand movements, up or down, coming in or out. So I can use this as an introduction. And then go off to the song. Or as a fill, once you finish the song and you're playing even part of the song, at the end, let's see. Here it is, C, A minor, D minor, and then there's a fill. So right here again, that song, in that part of that song, there's a 6-2-5-1, the C. So if you're used to doing that, once you get to that part of that song, your left hand is flowing, your right hand is flowing, then you have to pick out the right notes in the positioning. Or if you can't do it that fast, just stay on the C. So in that part, then it goes into a fill. So that's using basic triads on chord flow, applying it to Over the Rainbow, the chord flow in that, and then little by little, if you do that every day, 5 minutes, 10 minutes here, over and over and over again, you'll start flowing, and then you'll have the ability to think as you're playing and pull out the melody notes from the chord flow, because the melodies come right out of the chords, and the melody centering position that you can determine through the inversions as you do your so that it will start all coming together. So this is the end of part 1. I'm going to do part 2 on the 7th chords, which the 7th chords have 4 notes, the top of which has the triad. So everything you see that I just do here, when I do a 7th chord in the next part, I will be breaking down the 4 notes to the 3-to-1 split, 1-to-3 split, whatever you want to call it. The root goes in the bass, and the top 3 go in the right hand, so that you have a 1-to-3 split. And you do the same thing with the inversions of the triads. So the triads are very important to have them down, because they're going to be the top of the minor 7, major 7, and dominant 7 chords, and you're going to be able to flow with the 7th chord as well. But it starts out with the triads. So if you have any questions, let me know. You want to take some lessons, beginner lessons, get yourself oriented, please look me up on let'senjoypiano.com, email me, and we can set some online lessons or whatever might help you, different questions, different suggestions for future videos, let me know. But this is so vital to get your chord flow connection continuity down. Okay, so look for part 2, which I'll be doing in a few minutes, and we can go from there. Thank you very much.